Welcome to a super exciting edition of Inside Media Weekly. I'm Ryan Boni. I'm joined yet again by Kevin Bastos.
Boy, it's so fascinating
Welcome
to say
back.
yet again. And our special third guest, Kelsey Sylvester.
Come on down!
Yeah!
Oh, she's not. She's hiding in the control room. All right, Justin Pinto's going to make an
She
appearance.
didn't get the rundown.
Hold on. Let me send it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Did this video just freeze? Or is it... So the Otters...
Did the video freeze, or are the Otters that boring?
I can't tell. There he is. Justin Pinto, everybody.
He's here.
Come on down.
We only just started, so...
Come
just
on
checking
in.
out the Otters. He's ready.
Oh, no, it's moving now. Did it freeze?
It was frozen for a second. I'm turning it towards me now.
Was I imagining that? Okay. I'm not sure what the little square is in the middle. Is that
Step
like,
on the cables, very important part. Boni loves that.
Is that like a little island for the
trying.
sea otters?
What, the puzzle piece there?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Or do you
exciting.
think one of the floors
I
came up?
doubt it would hold.
You think the
It's
sea otters had
cool.
a gym and the little floor came up on it? So, yeah, there's no sea otters, though. Earlier we saw one. I think he was swimming around.
It was when we were ready to go, and then we couldn't
Oh, wait.
go.
There's a splash in the water.
Oh, so I see. Stop to
the
get
right
the Girl
side.
Scout coffee, and not for the show. Got it. You brought enough for everyone,
There's
right?
donuts out there. Joking.
I was like,
gonna
I'm
be well
pausing the
played.
show.
That would have taken longer.
Lies.
You have to ask for the assorted.
No, you just say, I'll take one that's ready, and they just pick it up, give it to you.
It was too much.
Uh-huh. Heard it 1,000 times.
I know.
Thanks for the coffee.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Justin Pinto's here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Getting here.
Good to be
I
here.
saw another splash. I don't know what's going on.
Good to be here.
Anyway,
Something just off camera.
there's... Yeah.
Always. The action's always off
Where
camera.
did it go? I lost. So, giant story this week. Daphne and Velma trailer gives Scooby Doo Girls a spin-off.
Did not know. Did not know.
News to me.
I had forgotten Scooby Doo had a live action movie a couple years ago, didn't it?
No, they had two.
Was it just two? I felt like
No,
there
they had
was...
Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2, and then there was a prequel that was a direct-to-video version. Surprisingly,
believe.
not as good.
Hard to believe. Straight to video.
I don't believe it's the same people who played them, but
So, Daphne and Velma...
I've heard this is going to be just as good as the Woody Woodpecker film that went straight to video. Were you aware of that one?
I was not.
Nah, yeah.
I was not.
So, do we know anything about that?
I know nothing.
It's going direct to video.
I would have researched.
Surprise.
And I got it on my rundown.
But
I was checking my email a lot at the doctor's office. So no rundown.
are we talking no Fred, no Shaggy, no Scooby-Doo? Are we talking
It
just
looks
Daphne
like
and Velma? They look like they're in high school.
Spin-off
In the...
where they're investigating a school mystery.
I'm not sure.
Shocking plot for Scooby Doo. Would have got away with it.
Speaking of get away with it,
Oh.
so let's take a look at this past weekend. Pacific Rim Uprising. I
I'm
think
surprised it made $30 million.
made almost
$28 million.
$38 million for the weekend, knocking Black Panther to second. I can only imagine still holding strong at 13 million. Sherlock Gnomes coming in at a low 4, not being well reviewed.
That's the biggest disappointment of the weekend, I think.
Tomb Raider, we're going in time.
Yeah, I gotta say it's shocking to me how badly Tomb Raider has done. Like I didn't pick it to do well by any means, but
Well, Box Office Mojo has a Tomb Raider showdown.
With
And-
Tomb Raider?
In 10-day, the 10-day total for the the original Angelina Jolie was 83 million in 10 days, and this one now is 41 million. So we're talking
Surprised it made $41 million, honestly.
half.
yeah.
So when you look at the top 10, there's a movie missing. I don't know where
Yeah.
where did Unsane end up? Oh, there it is at number 11. I think you put an over-under at 5 million. I picked 5, and I was way over. 3.7 million. Apparently the
Unsane.
iPhone movie is not doing as well as...
Well, who is even... Let me be honest. If I wasn't on a local access television show, I would not even have known that movie was coming out.
Truth.
I mean,
Very truth.
if Black Panther wasn't making me check Box Office Mojo more than I should, I would not know what was coming or what was going in half these movies.
Certainly Unsane did not ring my bell as a huge...
No, it didn't seem like I mean, I'm lucky I know what A Wrinkle in Time is.
Yeah, and down at 15, Isle of Dogs pulled in 1.7 or 1.6 million in 27 theaters.
It's a lot for 27 theaters.
It's pretty
isn't it?
impressive. I got to be honest. The
Isle
preview
of Dog
is
is the
Wes
Wes Anderson
stop
one, right? I
action.
just saw the preview last night.
Very
Didn't know it was in the movie theaters yet, but
very
apparently it's
strange.
not really.
Yeah,
It's
well,
only
it's-
27.
Yeah, it's going wide this I believe this weekend. But so Pacific Rim Uprising. What was the original? What did it make its opening weekend?
Pacific Rim. Well, doesn't most? I mean, well, most movies make most of their money overseas, I guess, right?
I would guess so.
I mean,
I would expect that made more money overseas.
I believe I can't remember what I looked at in the all the
Pacific
different
Rim
tabs on Box Office Mojo.
came out at. Wait a minute. Just messed up.
Don't they
So
have a Pacific Rim versus Pacific Rim
It's
on Box Office Mojo?
Dun, dun, dun.
it made 37 million in 500
First week.
fewer in its first weekend.
Well, and that's
500
also,
fewer, but it's also
37 million. What, 10 years ago?
It was 5 years
like
ago.
10, yeah.
But it was
It only seems like 10.
500 fewer theaters.
Boy, when they
However-
waited 12 years to put out a sequel.
It was going up against
like,
Grown Ups too.
Avatar. Oh, God.
So it did have a rough time of it.
Well, yes.
There was a time. There was a time.
So, sorry,
Oh, this is great.
wait a minute.
Great
I'm bouncing around.
television. You're a witness.
So
I
there
was
we go.
there when.
So I had a question, a Ready Player One question. Of course, Ready Player One. As we're recording this today on Tuesday, Ready Player One is coming out tomorrow, right on Wednesday,
Is it
or
coming
Thursday,
Wednesday?
or Wednesday
Yeah.
night into Thursday. Right?
Is it the 28th of the 28th?
Is that
I
right?
think it's either. I would guess tonight into tomorrow, but
Why
I
am
really
I
have no-
confused?
It's coming out.
Because it's coming out on a Wednesday.
It's coming out on Thursday, so
Instead-
Wednesday into Thursday.
It's even more confusing.
So obviously, I've actually not read the book. I know
Love it.
you have.
Love the book.
Of course, Steven Spielberg is directing it. However, there's some digs at Steven Spielberg in the book. How do you think he's going to play this
Down.
in the movie, or do you think he's got enough of a jokey nature about him?
Well,
Because there's a joke, I guess, in the book about just the first 3 Indiana Jones movies are good and everything else doesn't count after it, or something.
hasn't everyone realized that already? I would expect.
When did
even,
this book come out?
3-4 years, maybe 5 years.
So,
There was a student.
Indiana Jones 4
If I
had
mentioned,
come out.
If I mentioned the student's name, okay, the student who suggested it to me was a student who was very comfortable mentioning his Asperger's diagnosis.
Okay.
He was very upfront. He was like, "Yep, I have Asperger's, and I want to let you know." And he was also in the media department. And he loved the book. And I want to say for 6 months he pestered me about reading the book. And I picked it up and I said, "Student, that was a fantastic book. I really
My
liked
one
it a
friend
lot."
really likes it.
August
My one friend's great.
16th, 2011 was the book released.
I didn't know when it came out. Like he talked glowingly about the book, and I feel like
I felt like it had been out a little bit longer.
I thought I was imagining it was a book that came out way longer than 2011.
It is a love story to 80s nerds. It is
Like Stranger Things.
more, bigger.
Well, Stranger
and
Things
broader.
focused on one storyline, and this talks
True.
about everything, doesn't
Oh,
it?
it's
I mean, it has
video games. there's
I
a
watched the
section
commercial,
on-
and I'm like, I know that, and I know that, and what is this book about? Like,
even obscure 80s references, like they're talking about Dungeons and Dragons campaigns and things that happened in them with levels of detail, and I'm thinking, I fought in that campaign. I remember that. I mean, it was very, very specific to a lot of things that happened in that.
it's not a big book, is it?
I read it in 2 days, and for me, that's saying something. To find 2 days available and devote that entirety of time to that reading. I like reading, but this made me. It was the last book I couldn't put down, and then I read the sequel to it, which was a turd. It was not even a sequel. It's the next book by the same author that was garbage.
So it's not really a sequel.
No,
Okay.
no, it's not at all the same characters or anything. But it felt like.
He was trying to make it a sequel without it being a
Here's
sequel.
all the ideas I had that I didn't put in the book because they were too bad.
Now
now
we're putting
make a
them
book
in the
out of
book.
it.
Yes. We'll staple them together.
So the exact quotes apparently from the book is Holliday once said that he preferred to pretend the other Indiana Jones films from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull onward didn't exist. I tended to agree. Now, what's humorous apparently is Ernest Cline, the author, was on the set, and David Koepp, who wrote Crystal Skull and is writing Indiana Jones 5, came to visit Steven Spielberg to talk a little bit about. And he mentioned
It's dark.
Ernest Cline says, I really wanted to go over and say hello, but I didn't because I was like, oh, I bet he read this book.
I mean, would anyone put Crystal Skull above fourth?
I'm sure somebody would. I'm sure somebody.
I can see some argument for maybe putting it third. Right. That would be the only argument I would see. But even among those four, I would say first and the third are the best, and Temple of Doom would be third, and Crystal Skull would be fourth. It has redeeming parts to it, but it's just so bad.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time. Probably since I went to the theater and saw it.
I watched it on a disc. I don't know
Maybe
if it's
never
a DVD
again.
or a Blu-ray. I'll watch it again before the next one comes out.
Well, and I think, one of the issues, but the big thing for me with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is that they were so successful becoming doing this whole family thing on Last Crusade, and I feel like everything else for the most part worked for me. It was the Mutt character of Shia LaBeouf. It was the whole bringing Karen Allen back, and I mean, while it was cool to see it first, it just felt very, very forced into the story.
Let's get the Mary.
Whereas the adventure part was okay.
I
get
aliens.
I get
Also, and a nuclear explosion that he saves himself with a refrigerator.
lead lined.
I'm gonna say a refrigerator saves him from the bomb.
What's
Let's
funny
just
is
talk about the aliens. I mean, it was aliens in the movie.
But I understood where he was coming from because it was supposed to be 1950s and all the paranoia with War of the Worlds and stuff like that. That they wanted to advance that to.
But I was watching the movie in 2000s.
Right. Well.
So.
But this, the same could be, I guess.
X-Files.
You know what we need? We're going to redo Casablanca, but we're going to have aliens in the movie.
What? Write this down.
The aliens are going to be the bad guys. Just always off camera. Off. Can't ever see them. We're going to allude to them.
It's good. Anyway, it's a dig, and I would hope that Spielberg realizes enough after looking at this stuff, thinking, yeah.
I mean, he didn't set out. Steven, it wasn't like, what we need to do? We need to make a really bad Indiana Jones movie. Just the other three, Temple of Doom. I like Temple of Doom. People say it's the worst. I need one worse. I just need to make one so it's worse, so people will finally lay off Temple of Doom, because I kind of like Temple of Doom. So we make Crystal Skull.
Well, his wife's in it, right? Yeah.
So, I mean.
Listen. You made a movie with your wife in it.
She wasn't his wife at the time, though. They weren't dating yet.
She is now.
She is now, correct?
Right.
Gotcha.
I think Steven Spielberg has to understand it's not a good movie. I mean, sometimes you just have to admit, like, you know what? I thought that was going to be a great lesson, and it just fell flat. It just wasn't as good. Maybe I could have done some things better. It would have been better.
The parallel example. I love Godfather. A lot of people like the second one better. I can understand why you would like it better. I would not argue with you. I like the first one more. It's fine.
But what if they like Godfather Part 3?
Then they're wrong. I don't understand. Wow. I don't get it. And for me, I think Godfather 3 is not a bad movie. If it exists only as itself, there's some great parts to it, fantastic pieces to it. People dump criticism on that film. I thought Sofia Coppola was not a terrible actress in it. Everyone hates her because it's his daughter and all that stuff. But people don't realize Talia was his sister. People don't go back to that and talk about that ever.
She's a good actress.
Sofia Coppola is not as awful as everyone says she is. Right. When you have that movie comparing to the other two, it's going to be the worst. It's going to be. I don't think anyone is looking back at the first 3 Indiana Jones movies and going, Temple of Doom, it is my favorite. That's the best one of the 3. Nobody is. Same with Godfather. And
I'll bet you there's somebody out there.
Somebody's only seen Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom.
Crystal
Likes
Skulls.
only the dark. Likes only
That's
the dark
their favorite
stuff.
one. They have yet to find out there's 4 Indiana Jones movies.
So let's see. until
Short
July 10th, 2020, when Indiana Jones 5.
I'll
will make
take
it
the
5.
over. I think
2020.
you're right around the corner.
2020. Oh man.
Well, apparently Spielberg wants to redo West Side Story, and he wants to do Indiana Jones 5. I'm not sure which one's coming first.
Oh, boy.
But
Very similar.
I don't know. So we've got a little ways to wait.
I want to redo Psycho. Shot for shot.
idea.
Again.
Great idea.
Only this time.
We'll get Shia LaBeouf and Karen Allen.
Macaulay Culkin.
What a great idea.
Was
So,
it in Indiana Jones? Did I miss that?
in case you haven't been keeping track, sorry, I'm shifting gears without
That's all right.
without a good segue. So I think we started to talk a little bit about what this might be happening or whatever, but originally there was going to be 3 X-Men movies this year, and now it looks like there's going to be 1.
What is the one being released? That's an X-Men film again?
Well, it's
Deadpool?
Deadpool 2
You're
is
right.
your X-Men movie.
Well,
Go on.
He does make X-Force, apparently.
I understand. I've seen the previews. I'm psyched. I am psyched.
Now, does this have anything to do, because isn't Fox getting pulled into the umbrella or something?
They've already sold it. Disney has,
Is it official?
I believe so, right?
I mean, I don't know. My
I
one friend was
believe
saying.
Disney now owns all of the old Fox rights to those characters and films.
So basically, it's like, quick. Can we reshoot some scenes with the X-Men at the
Yes.
end of Infinity War?
Right.
Can we get Fantastic Four in here?
Yep. Bring him in. Somebody else in there.
Well, I heard Silver Surfer's in Infinity War. Is the
News to me.
my friend told me. He said Silver Surfer's in it, and I said, okay, I haven't seen the movie yet. I don't know that.
Well, no one.
He seemed confident.
All right.
I don't know. You heard it here second.
They're throwing a whole bunch of stuff in there. So, yeah, you could hypothetically put Deadpool in a shot.
4 action heroes.
You start putting cutaways, you can put anyone in there you want. Like,
I'm really looking forward to it, and it's not that
you got
far
the
away.
stock footage of Kirby they put in at the end there, you know.
so we were supposed to get New Mutants in April, and
That's a TV show, isn't it? Or
Deadpool.
Legion is kind of.
Yeah, it's not.
Deadpool 2 was going to be in June, and X-Men Dark Phoenix was going to be in November.
So when
Did you say April was for New Mutants?
Originally, yes.
Doesn't seem like a great month to put out New Mutants. I'm just saying.
So
There's
I'm
another movie.
assuming that New Mutants is done. I mean, if this thing was going to come out,
done or delayed?
well, no, but I'm saying, but
You
it's
like
not the
it,
next
you
week,
like
it has to be
it's.
done because it's not
in the
coming out
can.
now till next year. So
We're gonna reshoot some scenes. We'll get Deadpool in it.
Deadpool and Captain America. Like this is foil back and forth, you know.
so it's coming out now in August of 2019.
It's a bit
Do
of
you
a
think
delay.
there's a
Wow. And August is not a great summer month either.
I really feel like you gotta put that against like nothing. Like,
New Mutants?
yeah, I mean,
It depends on how good Deadpool is and how many, like, if you put
Yeah, but,
tips
like,
of the cap to the New Mutants in
I've only got
there.
so much time to go to the movies, and like, I really only go to like,
3.
well, I only go to like movies that we talk a lot about, like Black Panther and Star Wars, and I'm going to go see Avengers and comic book movies, and Star Wars. Yeah, pretty much all I go
Yes.
see. But I don't think New Mutants is on my list of like I'm going to go see that the Thursday release.
Depends on what the preview looks like.
I just don't think even how it could.
Oh,
I don't
what
know.
the
I
preview
mean,
looks like. This Avengers promo preview is just getting kids. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Yes, I've seen it. Oh, it looks so good, so good, so good. So good. And me, it doesn't look so much better than anything else, but the acceleration toward it is way up because of how good the last 2 movies were. Thor was excellent. Black Panther was pretty good. Now there's this.
the culmination of like 10 years, which that's all part of. Yeah.
So we had mentioned this switch of New Mutants a couple weeks ago, I think, where Deadpool got moved up a week, New Mutants. But now it's been announced that X-Men Dark Phoenix is moving from November to February of 2019. We have a winner!
Oh, let's see. Take a look. Sorry, I forgot to.
So February.
Twice.
Okay. February is a good month apparently. Black Panther did pretty good in February.
I would think, yeah. So that basically leaves us with Avengers Infinity War, Deadpool 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Venom, and Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Venom.
Oh, I think the casting choice is great.
The preview, well, the teaser trailer is not real good, so we'll just see.
Right. It's a teaser. It's done to do. Oh, I remember seeing it, and I showed my wife. I was like, look.
I remember when I saw a teaser trailer for Jurassic Park 4, which I don't think ever came out.
Yeah, it did.
Jurassic Park 4?
Oh, no, Jurassic World.
Jurassic World. It was not the preview for Jurassic World.
Right.
It was not the
I
teaser
don't
for that.
think that was a real preview.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was just some teaser trailer of like,
Okay.
But you got it. You just didn't get it.
Jurassic World,
way you
which is
thought
probably
you were
better
going
than
to.
Jurassic Park 4 would have been.
I'm certain of it. Because Jurassic Park 3 was a big turd. Jurassic Park 2 was not great, but the third one was. Ugh.
I can't read any of these things anymore.
Jar Jar.
So I wanted to ask,
Can't read them, or
what's that?
Jar Jar
TV
Binks
glasses
almost
can't
had
read
another
them?
had a sidekick.
Oh well, yeah. You want to talk about Jar Jar
my
Binks was
Lord.
originally was I guess written to have a pet. Something's going on here. We got ads going.
Oh, Jar Jar
It was Kroger.
Binks'
So if anyone
pet.
wants to know, Starburst is available for $1.88 with their Kroger card. Sorry, Starburst jelly beans. Those aren't the real Starburst.
So Jar Jar Binks almost had a sidekick.
He almost had a sidekick, a little pet named Blarth.
Officially, that would have been the worst movie ever made. Jake Lloyd, Jar Jar Binks, and Jar Jar Binks' pet.
What I'm envisioning now is we're gonna have to get this Jar Jar side story with this pet. And why doesn't he make it to episode 1?
That's the next version of the spin-off films after Solo.
A chubby
Jar
alien.
Jar.
The Blarth was supposed to be a chubby alien with almost pig-like body, very short legs, very long tail, and a big, goofy mouth full of teeth and a long tongue.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe it would have been very interesting. I'm just so glad we didn't have to see that CGI'd in episode 1 because it would not.
It's weird all of a sudden all this George Lucas news is coming out that Mark Hamill revealed that under George Lucas's original idea for the 3 trilogy, the current trilogy we're in 7, 8, 9, that originally that Luke was going to die in 9, but that he would have trained Leia as a Jedi, which is, and I guess Hamill was a little more excited about that than what ended up happening with his character in Last Jedi, which brings us to
Last Jedi's coming out today.
today. I was asking Bastos prior to the show.
Where do we go to get it?
Well,
Well, I know
Is there
which
still-
one's got the best version.
is there still
I don't need
excitement?
I don't need a book.
You need a steelbook, though?
I don't need a steel book.
Walmart
Bonus.
has something on it?
Bonus. Does anybody
I
have
don't think
extra
anyone
footage?
has extra bonus garbage on it. I looked around.
Yeah.
I think it's just Target has the book.
Yes.
Best Buy has the steelbook.
Oh, the steel.
And people go crazy for the steelbooks.
Don't tell me that. Don't make me go get it.
People go crazy for the steelbooks.
I don't. It's been so enjoyable to not buy 8 copies of the same movie.
I have to say, I've been thrilled by it.
Oh, it's been so great.
I know.
I mean, I've shifted to buying like 7 covers of the same comic book.
Oh, well, you know.
But $3 is cheaper than 20.
I passed on that. You know, I got rid of it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about selling a bunch of mine.
Well, sometimes you gotta get rid of some stuff.
I think I'm going to get rid of most of it. I'm just tired. I'm done.
okay, so we've got a Target exclusive 40-page booklet with
Yeah,
behind-the-scenes
correct. The book. I saw the book in the
and
ad.
making of Star Wars: The Last Jedi with exclusive images,
Right.
facts,
Oh.
Pictures.
and personal insights from the
Pictures.
filmmakers.
Exclusive personal insights. Nowhere else can you get those personal insights.
was
Not
a
even from the
good
person.
one.
It's only in the book.
And then the Best Buy
Steelbook.
Steelbook.
And does Walmart
They-
have a version as well, or is that it?
Remember when Walmart used to have like the double wide thing?
Oh, yes.
It was like it was like you buy the movie and there was a whole other separate disc.
I bought Ghost Rider like 3 times. I know.
You're not going to believe what Walmart has. Walmart has
An exclusive T-shirt.
an exclusive Last Jedi Blu-ray with interchangeable covers.
Whoa.
I got the Star Wars version of that at Target, but interchangeable covers.
Interchangeable covers.
I think it's gonna
What
be
do I
good
want this to look like
anywhere I go.
on the shelf when I can't see it? I can only see the spine. What cover do I put in?
I think it's gonna be just as good to go to Giant Eagle and get my copy there.
But I don't know.
I would just now I'm just worried about like who's gonna have the best deal.
I might throw in a free package of M&Ms
They might.
at Giant Eagle.
Giant Eagle sometimes has
They do.
good prices the first week,
And
then awful
M&Ms.
prices.
Yes.
They give you M&Ms when you buy.
I don't know. They have they got popcorn once or juice boxes or
And it's
something
conveniently
ridiculous.
located.
Yes, that's the best thing about it. I don't have to go anywhere else except right there.
I don't understand the idea of the interchangeable covers.
Well, I do.
Who's your favorite?
But
Put 'em in.
normally, you would sell this as 6 different ones, so that way the collectors are going to go out and buy 6 different editions. Why would you
So
put
glad I quit.
Why would they put you? Why would they put it all in one? And I
My
can't.
guess is
Everybody's wearing red, by the way.
that was not as profitable as they intended it to be.
Okay.
Like, I know Game of Thrones was doing that. They were releasing, like, the Targaryen covers of Season 3 of whatever, and the Lannister covers.
It works so
of
well for
Season
Entertainment
3.
Weekly. Why would it not work for?
I do have TV guides with from 1999 with all the Star Wars.
It looks like
different
we've got-
covers. Maybe we'll bring them in.
It looks like we've got Luke.
Because Lord knows we need 20-year-old TV guides to look over.
It's very important. I've got to keep these 20-year-old TV guides just in case.
Think about. I was thinking about this the other day. Remember when you used to have to actually what's on TV?
I know.
And go to the TV guide.
Or you just had to turn the TV on and flip the channel. You know?
Something
Well,
came
and then
on.
they came up with the one channel that had a scrolling
Oh,
list of
yeah.
all the other channels.
Oh, yes. I can remember somebody calling me like, Kevin, I'm like, leave, I'll come back. I missed it! How did I miss? Then you have to wait on the
to go
slow
all the way
line
around.
up.
Oh, that was awesome.
Instead of just flipping the channel over there.
Instead of
Because
hitting-
then I'd go there and be like, oh, I don't like this. And then I'd come back, I missed what was on.
Times were tough back in the days. Times were tough.
Speaking of tough, we just went from like 5 minutes to 2 minutes. Like
Dad! Whoa.
I'm trying to say. So
I mean, 2 minutes.
I see Luke. I see Leia, Finn, Kylo Ren. Is that supposed to be Poe? I can't tell by the. They're kind
Let's
of
say
covered there.
yes.
And then Rey. There's probably a listing here somewhere.
There's got to be Poe.
6 interchangeable covers. My Target did one for, what was it? The, shoot. I can't remember the title now.
The interchangeable covers were
Yes.
not interesting enough.
No, the interchangeable
They were
covers
ahead of their
had-
time.
Had it for the in-between one. The episode 3.5 one.
Are you talking about
half?
Rogue One?
Yeah, Rogue One. Rogue One had. I'm
Oh.
sorry. For some reason I couldn't come up with that. But they had interchangeable covers on Rogue One, and I really liked that one.
Okay.
I like Rogue One a lot.
I know. It's a great film.
It is.
It feels like I can watch that and then just leave again. I don't have to sit down and watch 7.5 hours of films.
It is.
I can just watch 2 hours and I'm out.
It's always nice when you can just in 2 hours and you're done.
Right. I feel like I can fit that into most days.
Speaking of being done, we're out of time. on this issue.
5
We do have Ready Player One coming out.
It's crushing.
God's Not Dead, A Light in Darkness, and Tyler Perry's
Another
Acrimony.
Tyler Perry movie.
I'm not sure Ready Player One.
By the way, Tyler Perry's coming to Pittsburgh, right?
What's going to win?
Tyler Perry's coming to Pittsburgh to shoot his next film, I believe.
I did not know
I
that.
don't-
Maybe I'll go down and see if I can get cast. Tyler, I love all of your films.
So are we looking Ready Player One, Pacific Rim, and then
I don't know. I think there's a chance Black Panther may
Black Panther?
jump up to number 2
Back to
again.
okay.
Well, she stay.
You think Pacific Rim's going?
Oh, jump
down?
over to stay at number 2. Yeah, it's got a chance.
All right.
Pacific Rim could go from 28 to $8 million.
Yeah, go to 7 or 2.
Well, that's all the time we have on this edition of Inside Media
Snapdragon.
Weekly. Thanks for joining us.